أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Dear friends, welcome to Idea Foundation Forum. Today we will discuss death is inevitable. Death is inevitable as the 23rd issue under the Quran and modern sciences. Evolution of the universe tells the story of perpetual making, breaking, and remaking, or fusion, and progression of its elements of universe. It is the chemistry of nature, as we noticed in lecture 255, titled Death, the Gateway to a Larger Life. The universe grew from a negligible particle to current enormity obligated to the nucleosynthesis. What is nucleosynthesis? A process for creation, multiplication, demise or collapse of the elements of the universe, driven by collapsing and recombining or fission and fusion of their subatomic particles. When these phenomena came to the earth, they established life through photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? A process whereby certain matters lose their identity to give birth to some other life-giving substances necessary for the plants and animals. Of course, for human beings. Thus, growth of the universe and life on the earth from a single atom to the current enormity tells the divine practice of death for larger life in various time zones. This fact is witnessed in the emergence of the universe, stars and planets, and also in the mystery of black holes. The Quran refers these facts as evidence for the man's recreation on the day of resurrection to satisfy a query generally made by disbelievers. What is the query? It's in fact is a verse from the Holy Quran. When we are bones and crumbled particles, will we truly be resurrected, reborn as a new creation? It is the question raised by the disbelievers, and it is even question raised today. Science ardently promotes the philosophy of collapsing of some elements and their rebirth in some other modes and time zones. But unfortunately, it denies the truth of the man's recreation on the day of resurrection. However, consensus has been reached by now that collapse of an atom or a body or its death in a given time zone is inevitable. There is no dispute. It is the fact that the Quran revealed centuries ago. Eternity belongs to Allah, the Creator, only. Every created object is doomed to expire one day. It is written in Surah Ar-Rahman. Thus, death is inevitable for evolution of the creative nature that will be discussed today. So, dear friends, the Quran strongly announces that everything created will die one day except its creator, the Almighty Allah. Ayat 26-27 of Surah Ar-Rahman are very expressive on this point. Listen the translation. Everything that exists is to perish, is to die, perish, and there will remain the face of your Lord, owner of majesty and honor. Kullu man alayha fan wa yabqa wajhu rabbika zul jalali wal ikram. Likewise, Ayat 3 of Surah Al-Ahqaf says, we did not create the heavens and earth and what is between them except in truth and for a specified term, for a determined term, for a short span. In Surah Ar-Rahman, Kullu man alayha fan is an overarching statement, leaving no space for exception. Everything that is created has an end after a specified time. Thus, this divine principle is equally applicable from an atom to a star. No exception. Let us see how science confirms this divine truth. In view of time constraint, we will limit our discussion to the human cell, water, and the sun only, 3 elements of the universe. Dear friends, science has estimated today, in the current time, that an average human body contains about 30 trillion cells of 200 types. 30 trillion cells of 200 types. Human body also has about 38 trillion bacterial cells. 30 and 38. Thus, total cells in human body are about 68 trillion. Just imagine. How many billions are in a trillion? 1000 billions is equal to 1 trillion. And cells 68 trillions in human body. Each type of cells has a unique structure, size, shape, function, and lifespan. Number of cells and their lifespan may vary from person to person depending on age and other physiological factors. Age, height, health, so many other physiological factors. Of the total 30 trillion, mostly are the blood cells, especially the red blood cells. An adult human has around 25 trillion red blood cells. An average male brain contains about 171 billion cells, of which about 86 billions are signal transmitting neurons, and other 85 billion cells help functioning of the neurons. Lifespan of each of the 200 types of cells varies considerably. All the cells eventually die and get replaced, maintaining a specified balance. An average body makes 173 to 259 billion red blood cells per day, in a day, 24 hours. Whereas red blood cells live for about 120 days. Liver cells can live up to 18 months. Some brain cells live for a longer time. The man custodian of these cells himself is to die on a predetermined day, as the Quran says, Kullu nafsin zaikatul maut. Kullu nafsin zaikatul maut. Every soul, everybody will taste death. It is Ayat 185 of Surah Al Imran. So, dear friends, water. We were discussing cells, human cells. Now we will discuss water. Water comprises of hydrogen and oxygen, H2O. It is a discovery made by science in the near past, not many decades in the past. Photodissociation is a chemical reaction between sunlight and water vapor that breaks down the water molecules to separate oxygen from hydrogen in the atmosphere. In the atmosphere. While photosynthesis, that was photodissociation. I am now talking about photosynthesis on the earth. While photosynthesis does the same act in plant's body on the earth. In photosynthesis, burning water is named photosystem. The two processes that collapse water into gases in fact confirm the miraculous information revealed by the Quran about 1500 years ago that tells possibility of burning of water, its extinction or conversion into gases. In this context, some Quranic verses are noteworthy. Please focus. Ayat 6 of Surah At-Takwir says, when the seas boil over, وَإِذَا الْبِحَارُ سُجِّرَتْ وَإِذَا الْبِحَارُ سُجِّرَتْ. Arabic word sujirat is derived from tasjir, which means oven wherein flames are rising high. It is a miraculous revelation regarding water consisting of oxygen and hydrogen, two combustible and fire-sporting gases. Oxygen and hydrogen, these are two combustible and fire-sporting gases. Oxygen is combustible. This Quranic information has now been confirmed by the scientific discovery of water's formula H2O. Till the time these two gases are combined together as water, they extinguish the fire. They extinguish the fire, and when these are separated into gases, one becomes combustible and other sustains combustion. One starts the fire, other sustains it. Ayat 3 of Surah Al-Infitar says, and when the seas are erupted, means exploded as gases. Ayat 18 of Surah Al-Mu'minun says, and we have sent down water from the sky in a measured amount, fixed amount, and settled it in the earth, and indeed we are able to take it away. We can make it gases, we can make it sunk into the earth. Ayat 30 of Surah Al-Mulk says, say, have you considered if your water was to become sunken into the earth, then who could bring you flowing water? Who could bring for you the flowing water, which is the, symbol of life? Dear friends, now let us focus on the sun. The third element, we have selected three elements. The third is the sun, which is millions times bigger than the earth and sustains its life of the earth, life on the earth. It is one among trillions of stars in the universe. But the principle of death has no discrimination among the celestial giants and tiny atoms. Before discussing the Quranic view about demise and predetermined lifespan of the sun, let us see scientific view in this context. It is a recent scientific discovery that the sun has been consuming 4 million metric tons of its hydrogen, helium, and lithium stocks into energy every second for the last about 5 billion years. And such pattern of consumption would ultimately end up its stocks of gases in the next about 13-14 billion years, causing complete demise of the mighty sun, as you know, the total collapse. We have discussed scientific details on the sun's demise in lecture 169 that may be revisited to refresh your memory. A report titled "The Death of the Sun" by BBC News Science Department has also given informative details on the gradual demise of the sun. The solar decay would have caused complete extinction of Earth's carbon cycle, liquid water, photosynthetic plant life, and human existence by 3.5 billion years from now. Then, within about 9 billion years, the sun would end up as white dwarf, having shrunk to the size of the Earth. 2 billion years later, carbon and oxygen in the sun's core will freeze due to extremely low temperature, and then the sun will finally cease to shine altogether, becoming a black dwarf, a dead body. Graphs showing life cycle of the sun may be seen on the screen. So, dear friends, now let us see what the Quran revealed about the decay and demise of the sun about 1500 years ago. It is eye-opener. Ayat 38 of Surah Yasin says, "And the sun runs on the course, on the orbit towards its stopping point, where it will end. It will be, totally consumed. وَالشَّمْسُ تَجْرِي لِمُسْتَقَرٍّ لَهَا. وَالشَّمْسُ تَجْرِي لِمُسْتَقَرٍّ لَهَا. لِمُسْتَقَرٍ لَهَا refers to a predetermined place and time. Similar time limits for the demise of the sun are given in some other verses referred on the screen. Please note on the screen some ayat from Surah At-Takwir and Surah Al-Infitar that explain collapse of stars and constituents of the universe. Stars and other constituents of the universe leading to the doomsday, as Quran says, or big crunch as called by science. So, dear friends, Surah At-Takwir and Al-Infitar reveal the divine verdict on the demise of the universe and its constituents one day. The divinity of the Quran is also revealed in Surah Ash-Shams. What is Shams? Shams means the sun. All of its 15 verses of this Surah Ash-Shams end at letter H and E. H sounds ha when combined with E, ha, he, ha. That is he in Arabic. He in Arabic is he. The letter H stands for hydrogen. Just imagine. The letter H stands for hydrogen, and He, it is for helium. Every one of you who knows physics, he must be aware of these facts. It is extremely amazing how all the verses of Surah Ash-Shams or the sun uniquely end at ha, hey. If you go all these verses of Surah Ash-Shams, you will find its ending at ha. This surah is at number 91 in the Quran sequence, starting from Surah Fatiha, Surah Baqarah. It's the 91st surah in the Quran. Miraculously, there are 91 elements in the periodic table, which are intra-atomic combinations of hydrogen atoms. How miraculous this information is. This miracle reveals the divine truth of the Quran. So, my dear friends, with this we conclude our discussion under lecture 269. Please subscribe Idea Foundation YouTube channel to watch videos of previous lectures and join us for the noble cause. Thank you, friends, for participation. Allah Hafiz.